Hello, kindergarten. Today we're going to work on reviewing some skills that we have already learned throughout the year. So let's go ahead and get started. Make sure that you have your worksheet to follow along with me. First thing I do is always the same. I pick up my pencil and
write my name.
Write my name, that's right. So let's go ahead and get our names written down. Remember, at any point during this video, if you need a little extra time to complete the task, or if you see that you've made a mistake and you need to go back and fix it, you can always pause the video and then press play when you're ready to get started again. So let's go ahead and make sure that we're on this side that has the 10 frames. Okay, we're gonna work with this first, all right? So let's take a look at number 1, because I know all of you have written your name. All right, so number 1 says, how can you decompose 12? So remember, when we decompose, that means break apart. So I'm gonna start with the big number first, and then I break it into group 1 and group 2. And so we can see right here, how can you decompose 12? So it starts with 12 equals group 1 plus group 2. So it's the whole number broken up into the parts, group 1 plus group 2. So it says, how can you decompose 12? So we're gonna draw the equation that matches the picture. So how can you decompose 12 into 110 and some more 1s? So that means I need to look at where there's 110. We know that if all of the boxes are filled out in a 10 frame, that it's automatically 10. I don't even need to count it. There's bowls in each of these boxes, so I know it's 10. The first row is 5, then the next row is 5, that makes 10. So my first number is gonna be 10. Plus, now we look at how many 1s. That means how many 1s does it take to make 12? How many do we have left after there's 10? We can look right here at the 10 frame. 1, 2. Let's cross those out because that's our strategy. 1, 2. So group 2 has how many?
2.
Great job. I know it's 10 plus group 2 is
12.
2. Group 2 is 2. Not what number we're decomposing, friend. Okay, remember, decomposing is taking the whole number. That means the whole group of what we've started with and breaking it into group 1 plus group 2. All right, let's look down here at number 2. How can you make, oh, there's the difference. How can you make 11? So we've talked about, you hear the words decompose, and then you also hear us talking about, well, how can you make the number? They're the same skill, but they're reversed. That means they switch sides. So while we had the 12 that started here, because we start with the whole number and then we break it apart into group 1 and group 2, here it's asking you to look at what 2 groups, so we start with group 1 plus group 2, equals 11. So do we see how we have the equal and our whole number, our total on the end of the equation here? Up here, because we decompose, that means break apart, we start with the whole number. Stop shaking the table, please. The whole number equals group 1 plus group 2. So since I asked you, how can you make 11? We're looking at group 1 plus group 2 first. Remember, look at the signs. If the plus sign is first, you know Gus the plus. Look, he's got his arms stretched out right there. He's saying, come on, group 1 and group 2. We're coming together. So plus sign. Look, I look like a plus sign if I was standing up. Group 1 plus group 2. All right, so how can we make 11 with a group of 110 and however many 1s it takes to make 11? That's what we have to figure out. That's what we've been practicing with our teen numbers, is taking a group of 110 and then how many more 1s does it take to make the number? So let's look here. I know there's my 10. That 10 frame is filled up, so I already know it's 10. I'm going to write 10 first because that's my group 1. Group 1. Then group 1 plus group 2. How many 1s does it take? If I have 10, how many more does it take to make 11?
1.
1. So it's 110 and 1 equals 11. So look at that. Decompose starts with the equal sign and our total. When we make a number, we start with our group 1 plus group 2, and then we see the equal sign of how we make the number. I hope that helps some of us, because I know some of us have struggled with, why is the equal sign first? Or what is the equal sign? Where is it? I don't get it. The equal sign is saying this is the whole number. This is the total that you have, either after you have added, or it's the total you have after you subtract, which we're not talking about subtraction right now. Let's look down here at number 3. It says, which shows 13? Circle all the correct answers. I want you guys to say this with me. Circle all the correct answers. When you hear that phrase, you're looking for more than one answer. You shouldn't just circle one and be like, I know that one's right, so I'm done. No, friends, then you are not done, and you will get it wrong because you didn't circle all the correct answers. Let's take a look. We're looking for which of these shows a way to make 13. So this first one says 110 and 3 1s. All right, well, there's a few different ways we can check that. I know that if I draw a stick is how many?
10.
10. So if I need 110, I can draw a stick. Notice how I'm drawing it nice and small right next to that one. I'm not drawing real big so that when I go back, I'm very confused about what math I did to check it. I'm doing it just real small right there. I'm going to just draw that stick to represent 110. So if that's 10, I'm going to count on. When I count on, that means I start at 10 and I keep counting from there. So 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, so now let's look at that. It says 110. I got 110, right? Okay. And 3 1s. Did I make 3 1s?
Yes.
I did. And when I counted 10, counting on, I keep counting from there. 10, 11, 12, 13. We're looking for answers that make 13. Is that it? Did that make 13?
Yes.
Yes, it did, friends. So we're going to circle that one. Now let's look at the next one. It says 10 plus 3. All right. Well, let's draw our counters to double check it. Always double check your math. Even if you look at it and you're like, oh, I know this one. That one is 13. Check it. Draw the counters and double check that your math is right. It is so easy to make mistakes with math. So my first group, what am I going to draw?
10.
10. Let's do it. I'm drawing it nice and neat right next to it so I can keep track. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to draw a line to separate my group 1 and group 2. How many is in my group 2?
3.
3. 1, 2, 3. Let's check it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So did that make 13?
Yes.
Yes, it did. Let's circle it. Now let's look at the 10 frame. All right, is this a way to make 13? The easiest thing we can do is count all of them. Cross them out and count them, which if that's what you need to do, that is perfectly okay. But if we already know, if all of that's filled in, how many is that?
10.
I already know that's 10, so I can keep counting from there. If this is 10, then I'm going to keep counting. 10, 11, 12, 13. So does this show 13?
Yes.
Yes, it does, my friends. We're going to circle it. All right, let's look at the last one. It says 110 and 13 1s. Do not let the fact that the number 13 is there trick you. Let's double check the math, friends. So if I have 110, draw my picture of a stick because that represents 110. And 13 1s. Let's draw some counters here. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I know I drew those really fast. It's okay. You can pause it if you need to, or you can just follow along. So if I have 10 here, and I'm going to count on 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Wait a minute. I need 13. Is this more than 13 already?
It's in the 20s.
Oh my goodness. So I already know that's definitely not an answer. That's not 13. It's way more than 13. Because 1 10 and 13 ones, that's way more. I already know 13 is the number I'm looking at, and we're adding a 10 to it. So no, that one is not correct. All right. When you have these types of questions, go back and make sure you check each answer. Don't just say, meh, I'm going to check one answer and I'm done and I'm going to move on. You get it wrong, guys. You get it wrong when you do that. You have to check all the answers. All right, let's flip it over. Okay. We're practicing some of our 10 frames here. So for these first two, I want to see you. How many more make 10? So that means I need to look at the 10 frame and I need to figure out how many more I need to get to 10. That means all those boxes should be filled in. So I'm going to draw counters to see how many more I need to make 10. Let's see how many there are first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7 there. Let's see here. 8, 9, 10. Okay, so now how many did I have to draw to make it? 1, 2, 3. I needed 3 more to make 10. I know with the 10 frame, it all has to be filled in to make 10. So let's look at the next one. Now how many do I need to make 10?
2.
That's right. Let's double check. I know these boxes are empty and I need to fill them up to make 10. How many is that? 1, 2. It is 2. So we're going to write the number 2 here. Make sure your numbers aren't flipped. Take the time now to look at how I wrote my numbers and make sure your numbers are correct. All right, let's look at this one. Number 3 says, how many more make 10? Write an equation to match. Guys, remember the equation is the numbers and the symbols, the signs in the right places. So I can see they already told us where the plus sign is. So if we see guess the plus, we know that is what numbers go there.
The add-ins.
The add-ins, great word, but that's group 1 plus group 2. So I know my group 1 and group 2 are going to go first because the equal sign is at the end. So let's take a look here. How many more make 10? So then let's draw the equation that match. I'm going to fill in my 10 frame. How many more make 10? How many did I need?
1.
1. So I'm going to draw 1 right here. I needed 1 more. Now I want to write the equation that matches, right? So how many are my group 1? That's going to be the black counters that they gave us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So my group 1 is 9. Plus how many was in my group 2?
1.
Let's look. Great job, my friend. I love that you knew that. 1. 9 plus 1. 9 plus 1 equals. How many does that equal? You can go back and count them, each one if you need to. Or I already know that 10 frame is filled up. I also know from the math question, the story, how can you make 10? We were working on making 10, so I'm going to write
10.
10. All right, number 4. How many more make 10? Circle all the correct answers. All the correct answers. So how many more make 10? That means we're looking at this 10 frame. Circle all the correct answers. So we need to check each one. So this one says 4. Do we need 4 more? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Did that make 10?
No.
Okay, so no, we know it's not this one. All right, this says 6. I'm going to just draw back over this to double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is that one correct?
Yes.
It is. We're going to circle 6. Let's see. This one, how many counters is that?
1.
1. Did I need 1 more?
No.
Nope. I did a horrible job of circling that number 6. It's all right. We get the point. Some of you guys bring me a paper that looks like that. Let's count how many counters this one is. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Did we say we needed 6 to make 10?
Yes.
Yep. So we're going to make sure we circle those counters as well. So 6 and 6, those are the same. And that's how many more we needed. All right, friends. I know this was a longer one today. Let's double check that you've completed both sides.
Anyone that
And before you get it checked in.
able to come down and
Good work
help
today, friends. I will
our
see you next time.
arrival